My name is Aaron Jones, and I'm the President and CEO of IPS Global Aviation. IPS is a company that truly cares. We put our heart and soul into this organization. We operate 24 hours a day.
Surf into summer celebrations with a wave of unforgettable gifts from Crown Jewels & Coin. For graduations, marriage proposals, and this season's tide of occasions, we have the lowest price on pre-owned Rolex watches and fine jewelry. Design your own wedding ring from the state's only Verragio selection and choose from diamond jewelry starting at $299. Easy financing available. Catch the brightest rays and capture shining moments with a heartfelt gift from Crown Jewels & Coin. For all you treasure, San Mateo, north of Candelaria.
What's up, everybody? My name is John.
And I'm Ben.
And I'm Wolf.
And this is Creative Kill Live, where we talk all things horror, supernatural, and true crime. And today's guest, we have the wonderful Carlos Duran. What's up, Carlos? How you doing today?
Hey, what's up, man? Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we're so excited having him on the show
stoked.
today. Carlos is one of the biggest DJs here in town with 93.3. Is it Kiss FM? Or
It's 93.3 The Q.
93.3 The Q, everybody. So just, yeah, so we'll get into that here in just a little bit. But right now, we have to plug a few sponsors, guys. So here we go. Our first sponsor today is going to be this wonderful theater we're shooting in. This is our new location, guys. This is the historic Lobo Theater. We are so excited to be here. We're going to be shooting here moving forward and all the big live shows. We're super, super pumped about it. Don't you like it here?
Yes, no, we love this theater. Thank you so much. We truly appreciate it, guys.
You want to go take the second ones?
So our next sponsor is going to be IPS Global. IPS all day. Love what you guys are doing throughout the city. You guys are always teched up and real serious and whatnot. Also super polite. Appreciate you guys,
Yeah,
really.
they're great. I love them.
Yeah, next sponsor is going to be Duke City Toys. We're actually going to get ready to shoot something with them here
Yeah,
pretty
we're shooting
soon.
an episode at Duke City Toys.
Yeah.
He's going to do a bunch of, Leo Martinez is the owner, Garrett, and he's going to let us, or sorry, Wolf, and then he's going to let us, he's going to bring out all these horror toys, like vintage horror toys and stuff. I know you'd love
Cool,
that
yeah.
episode.
I'm down for that.
And then our next sponsor is going to be New Games Plus Gaming Center, kind of a interaction, family gaming kind of style kind of place,
they do
right?
like competitive video gaming and stuff, you know, where all these guys are sitting in their their cubicles is what it looks like. But the cool thing about New Games Plus is we're going to shoot an episode there too, and one of their employees, Chris, is a huge horror fan. So he's going to bring out some horror video games that we...
Oh, nice.
Yeah, like even some stuff from our generation, guys. Remember that Friday the 13th? Yeah. The 8-bit, that's what I call it, 8-bit shit,
Nintendo,
you know? It's like, yeah.
The good old days.
And then also Crown Jewels and Coin. Love you guys. Thank you so much for our silver bullets that you guys made for us. They are freaking awesome.
So I'll let you know, Carlos, we ran a contest just recently and we had a winner, but Crown Jewels and Coin donated silver. They're not functional silver bullets, people. Okay, they're just, but they look like silver bullets because we said, oh my God, silver bullets, werewolves, that goes hand in hand.
Right.
So we gave one of those away in our last contest. It was really great. Yeah.
Right. And finally, Boutique Buds. Really appreciate you guys. Awesome sponsor, and kind of leads us into our other actually sponsor. You wanna take that
so
one?
we've got some new sponsors now, guys, and we want to go ahead and plug them. So we said Boutique Buds. Tony over at Boutique Buds, his bud is named Randy 3Coin, and Randy has an apparel company, does hats, shirts, but he's also a professional poker player, and he loves our show, so he decided to sponsor it.
Right.
Yeah, you'll like this, Wolf. He just did a live, like, you know how they do those live stream poker tournaments? He just he was with Phil Hellmuth.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah.
The poker brat.
The poker brat, right? Yeah, they were on it together. Then we have Adam Oki Law Firm. Thank you, Adam, the black belt attorney. Judo chop. And then we have besides that we have. It's going to be the Achievement Gallery. And Achievement Gallery, what they do is they do promotional items. They're actually working with Wolf right now on his t-shirt designs. So we're going to be rolling out this t-shirt design for our live shows. Wolf is such a talented artist.
Actually,
yep.
Wearing one of his shirts right now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's
very much.
right. So we're going to go ahead and plug Wolf Krusemark Design next, right? So we have Wolf
you.
Krusemark Design. So Wolf is super excited to make these cool new, we're going to have 3 t-shirts that release for this first live series with Kane Hodder. We'll get into that one moment. But Wolf's got some amazing stuff. He's got Freddy Krueger stuff. He's got Texas Chainsaw Massacre stuff. He's got anything horror, guys. Wolf does it. A lot of wrestling merch too. We love it. Do you want to go ahead and talk a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I do, album cover art, illustration, graphic design, merch. I mean, you name it. I can pretty much do anything. So I do it all. And I love 80s and retro stuff. That's really where I thrive.
Yeah, you do thrive in the 80s and retro stuff. I love it. He's from Miami, guys, so he's got always kind of this like Miami Vice kind of feel to things too.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah,
lots of neon colors.
Yeah, lots of neon buttons.
And then so our next sponsor is going to be KH Photo. So our director today's name is Carl Hordovich, and I like to butcher his name because that's what I do. I'm the slayer of names. No, it's and Carl does real estate photography, headshots, landscape stuff. He's super amazing. Then we've got Cali Burrito Company. We're super excited to go there. They're going to shoot an episode actually there. They're going to teach us. They're going to have all kinds of food and stuff out for us, and they're helping us, maybe possibly cater some of these events too. And then our final sponsor today is going to be it's called High Chroma Tattoo. So the thing about High Chroma Tattoo is they're located on Carmel over here next to kind of where I live, but they're going to be our official tattoo sponsor. So for the Creative Kill Live episodes, starting with Kane Hodder, Chroma Tattoo is going to actually have a tattoo artist on scene, on site here, and do number 13 tattoos for everybody at a fixed, really cheap price. But they're amazing. They're really good. I'm so
cool.
excited to have all of them on. So those are all of our sponsors today, guys. I know we've got a bunch of them coming out the gate. It's been a ride.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Now let's get into a little bit here with Mr. Carlos Duran. So Carlos, tell us a little bit about yourself right now.
So basically what I do right now is I host a morning show on 93.3 The Q. It's a top 40 pop radio station, and I've been doing that for the last 20 years. I also program the radio station. I'm also on several other radio stations across the country. I'm on in Reno. All the time, and then I also
Reno,
do,
Nevada.
Yeah,
That's
Reno,
cool.
yeah, exactly.
Cool.
And I also do fill-in Atlanta and Dallas, and so I basically lived and breathed radio since I was 16 years old. Okay. And luckily I can still do it. I feel like every single morning I go in and I'm living my dream of being like a kid forever. Yeah. So that's what I've been doing. I've been working on the radio. I have a co-host named Leah Black, which I've been on for a very long time.
Listen to her every morning.
Yeah, exactly. I appreciate it. And we basically just have fun on the radio and kind of let the listeners lead us into our conversation. So we're talking about life stuff. We're talking about kids. We're talking about current events in New Mexico and Albuquerque. Obviously, you guys have, been a big part of the movie industry. We're always talking about things that are happening in the movie industry. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing.
It's pretty exciting with the stuff that's going on in New Mexico. Obviously, because of the tax incentive, we're getting a lot more film here. We're a big film hub now. But yeah, we tell the story. I mean, Wolf and I we're childhood friends. We've known, not childhood, but we've known each other since we were pretty young. But Ben and I met on a film set, and so that's kind of how the whole thing got started. But so where are you from? I read your bio a little bit. It said Texas. Is it?
No, I was born and raised in Albuquerque.
Okay.
I'm a Burqueño. I grew up here.
Okay, let's get this.
So, but when you're in radio, like probably in movies and TV, you move around quite a bit. Right. So yeah, I did a little moving around when I was younger in radio, and that's kind of how you establish yourself. And I was just kind of blessed, and I ended up back here in Albuquerque. And this is where my family's at, my friends are at. So it's like, man, I'm on the radio. My high school friends are listening to me. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm back home.
That's great.
So Carlos, where did you get your start in radio?
I actually had an internship at Del Norte High School. I was, hard to believe, but I was like in the gifted program, right? they were like, what do you want to do? You know, do you want to do an internship? So I did an internship at Albuquerque Police Department, and it was a good time. We were hanging out in the war zone a lot, and I was like, this is crazy. I want to do this, you know?
Right.
But then all of a sudden, I also had an internship at a radio station, and you know, I'm 15, 16 years old, and back in the day, like the girls are calling up the radio station, and I was the guy answering the phones.
Right.
So
oh, okay.
Hang out
They're
with
like,
the
play
girls.
this song for us.
Yeah. Well,
You want a Wu-Tang Clan CD?
So let me ask you. So were you also that kid, like when they do some kind of contest and everybody's like blowing all the lines up? Because I remember back in the day, that's what it was. We'd wait by the radio, and they'd be like, okay, if you're like the 6th caller, and we'd all be like this. You know what I mean? It's like
that was me, bro.
Yeah, there we go.
And I was one. I would never pick you guys. I would always pick the girl. I'd be like, yo, Stephanie, South Valley. Yeah, she's caller number 9.
Right. So the evolution of radio, like we said, that was a big media thing for us when we were kids, right? We all listened to the radios. We all had boom boxes with double cassette tapes. I used to tape the radio. I don't know if anybody else did that.
Making tapes.
You wait for your song to come on. You hear the first couple seconds and hit record.
Push the double buttons down. It was like record and play at the same time.
And you could put tape over the tapes you didn't want on the little holes too, and record over those.
Right. But now you see kind of what we started as a podcast, and it's more getting towards a live series and a television talk show series. But we're trying to model this like the horror version of Hot Ones kind of situation, you know? But what do you think about this new podcast generation that's coming out, and like this? Has it been good for you guys or bad for you guys?
I think I love it. I think you know, I'm passionate about doing media and radio and connecting with people, and so now, and I tell people this all the time. There's people that want to get into radio or podcasting or whatever it is, and I'm like, now there's an opportunity on so many different platforms.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like when I'm on the radio and we're doing our thing, it's just the center. It's our studio where we can distribute it to a YouTube or to a podcast or cut it up in, you know, TikTok shorts or whatever it is.
Right.
So it's just now it's where we do our show.
Yeah.
So
well, and it has, like I was saying, the evolution of radio has gotten so crazy now because it's really big. I mean, radio has always been big. It's been big since you know, back in the 50s when they started. But now, like you said, you get social media with it, which is great because we use that also, right? And it just makes everything a little bit better, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think for us, I mean, there's people that don't listen to radio, but they know of me from a podcast or from TikTok or from me doing stuff on Instagram. So it feels like now with all of these avenues, the people that are surviving in radio are the people like, oh, let's do this. You know what I'm saying? The people that die off in radio are the guys like, I'm a radio guy, you know?
Yeah.
Well, and it's kind of where all of this started at. You know, that's the way I figure it. So that's awesome, man. Well, I am so excited to have you on. And now, guys, we're going to jump into the big 3 questions. So if you're ready, Carlos, we are going to probe you about some horror. So I'm going to start off first. So, Carlos, what is your all-time favorite horror movie?
Oh, man. That's a good one because there's a lot of great horror movies, right?
Right.
But I think, you know, the one that keeps me up at night is, dude, let me just say this. If you fall asleep and Freddy Krueger shows up, bro, like that is the worst nightmare ever. Have you ever been extremely exhausted and you fall asleep and all of a sudden, like, bro, you might get murdered in your sleep?
So Nightmare on Elm Street it is, right? Go ahead, bro.
Everybody was scared to go to sleep back in the 80s when that came out, you know?
I'm still scared to go to sleep.
Yeah, you know, it was our generation, and Carlos is touching on it. We had these huge imaginations, you know, and what Wes Craven did was just make it better and better and better. Definitely. You know what I'm saying?
And it was really creative too, like the way that Freddy would kill people, like all of the different ways he would do it, you know, it kind of made it almost fun Like,
Yeah. Well, I think
Right.
that's the appeal to it too.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, for us horror fans, you know, it did scare
Right.
the shit out of a lot of
Right.
people back in
Yeah.
the day. But it's like what we were just kind of touching on earlier. It's the one-liners.
Right,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
the comedy element,
Yeah,
definitely.
the comic relief of Robert Englund in that movie is fantastic.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, and then there's in his kills so Carlos, we tell everybody this. The reason why the show is called Creative Kill is because when I was little, I would watch horror movies, and when I'd see something like I always use the Jason picking up the girl in the sleeping bag and going whack against a tree. I'm like, and I would
man.
say that's a creative kill. Right? And so I've kind of started that as this show.
Right.
And Freddie had a lot of creative kills.
Yeah. The one that stood out for me as a kid was, I can't remember, I think it was maybe part 3 or part 4, but it was the girl working out and like she's lifting the weights and then her arms break off and she turns into a roach and the roach arms come out. Like that one like really got me.
Yeah,
when
that
I
was
a kid.
mine was always the alleyway with the arms.
Oh yeah. with the
You know
long
where
arms.
where he's walking and it's just like they stretch out and then the claws just
Right, against the walls and whatnot.
Yeah.
I agree with you on that one. There's definitely something that's just like, and also just like the creativity that's actually brought in, like, you know, like the Terrifier series, for instance, like, you know, that just something really different to each kill, making it unique and kind of like stand out on its own a little bit, you know? Love that aspect.
Going for the shock value.
Yeah.
And also comic relief because I mean there's a lot of humor in Terrifier also.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, exactly.
Well, that's the fun thing about it is like is that they don't take themselves seriously. You know what I mean? I mean, none of these genres really. Well, the new stuff, you know, the A24 stuff and all that, it gets really dark and really deep. But this kind of horror, it's something that we all kind of grew up with. Just
It's that camp.
Yeah.
it's the campy
borderline
horror.
It's that feel-good horror.
Exactly.
Kids could watch.
So tell me, Carlos, so who is your favorite horror villain or killer? of all
Oh,
time?
that's a good one. I mean, Freddy's up there. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie. Like he's one of my guys, right? But I think for me, it's Jason. Friday the 13th. I was born on Friday the 13th. And
cool.
yo, like
That's
you know,
cool,
I
man.
had to.
That's cool.
That was my
Yeah.
guy, and he
Yeah.
had swag, and this dude was murdering people just like walking. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Right.
You know what I mean,
Yeah.
people like,
Yeah.
bro.
No matter how fast you run,
Yeah.
he'll catch you walking.
Right, exactly. So I think his swag, kids still dress up as Jason.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know
no,
what I'm
he's-
saying? Like legendary.
You've got the big 3 goats, and he's one of them. You know what I mean? And just to give everybody a little tease of what's happening here in the next couple of weeks, I'm wearing my Creative Kill Live shirt on. We'll be here live at the Lobo, and we're going to have on Mr. Kane Hodder himself.
Yes.
Yes.
So
Yes,
we are
that's
so
impressive.
excited having on Kane. I actually
Legend.
just talked with his manager, Judy, today. We've been kind of emailing back and forth, but he's so excited about coming to Albuquerque. Carlos is going to help us out a little bit with that, we hope, too. But yeah, you're Friday the 13th. You got to meet Kane Hodder. And he's just... He's never really been to this side of the world, you know. I'm not gonna tell everybody where he lives, but he's really excited about coming to Albuquerque.
That's
And
exciting,
so we're excited
yeah.
about having Mr. Hodder on.
Okay, okay.
You want to go ahead and now we can hit up with the third
Right,
question.
right. So third question here, Carlos. What movie just kind of lives rent free? Like something that just, you know, impacted you in a way where it's like one of your kind of go-tos and like the first thing comes to your head.
Right, and I don't know if you would consider this like a horror movie,
Oh,
but
I do.
But
I do.
I feel like the movie Get Out.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, man.
Dude,
Yes.
I mean
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah,
is
psychological,
just so
I mean,
twisted.
yeah.
I mean, when I hear like someone messing around with their tea at like Starbucks
Yes.
or whatever it is, I'm like, wait, hold
I want to
on.
go to the sunken
Yeah.
place. I don't want to
Yeah,
go there.
Yeah.
I mean, just so psychological.
Yes.
And you're right. It was it's the psychological thing, and then obviously it ties in what's happening kind of right now in the United States with, you know, the racism and the diversity and all of that. I think that Jordan Peele, when he obviously won Best Screenplay, right, for
Right.
Get Out.
Yeah,
It
that's
was-
his best film. I
It's
mean,
his
for
best
sure.
film. I love all of his films. I'm gonna tell you, I liked his Twilight Zone series. And just to plug something real quick, we're gonna plug him right now. He's doing a new movie with Marlon Wayans that's coming out called Him. It was shot here in Albuquerque, and
Sure
guess
was.
who's in it?
What, my man?
This guy right here. Yeah, he does a little part
Yeah,
of him.
playing
Yeah.
assistant football coach.
Okay.
He
here.
plays an assistant football coach. Yeah. So
I can see it. I can see
Right.
it.
yeah. And so we're super excited about that being a new. It's like once we get things like Stranger Things was shot here, you know, anything that's shot in Albuquerque, we got to have pride behind the thing. You know?
Definitely.
Yeah, we get that bouquet of pride here, you know what I mean? But back to Get Out, yeah, it was like, and it's like the garden party scene. That scene right there where it's sitting there and you can see, I forget the actor's name, but he's just like wanting to break out of his own skin, you know? And it's, you feel his pain. The way he just projects himself. You feel the way he's like, I'm trapped inside here. Like, you know, he's got the other guy inside of him.
And he wants to get out.
And
he's telling Homeboy to get out too while he still can, you know.
Right, and then the housekeeper and the gardener or whatever he was when they were running.
All of it, man.
That whole movie had me fucked up. Like I was like traumatized after that movie, but in a good way, because I was just like, it had all these twists and turns. And like even when he's like sitting there and they have him watching like the video presentation of like their whole messed up scheme of how they take the souls. Like it was really creepy. Like I just had the creepy vibe, you know, and how his girlfriend was in on it too.
Yeah, man.
And
I can't trust these girls nowadays, man.
What'd you say?
Man, I said you can't trust these girls nowadays.
You can't trust them. They're gonna lead you to
I love how the TSA guy comes to say
the ending of that film is the best, you know, because I was just like, fuck, man. Like I thought it was a cop, and then we're gonna go into the, you know, obviously the racism stuff with the cops arresting the black man and stuff like that. But then he pulls up, he's like, "What's up, bitch?"
Well, then, and then I love how that movie is like an onion and has so many Easter eggs in it. Like for instance, the main family's car, that like the family that does this, these poor people, their car is painted white on the outside with black interior. Peele did that on purpose as a means of like representing like, you know, what he's going through in terms of how, you know, there's somebody inside and that's trying to get out, you know. It's really interesting how they just took little fine-tuned details like that to kind of represent.
I think that's what's genius about Jordan, because Jordan has studied. He is a huge horror fan. Like, I mean, he knows everything. I watch all these clips of him when he talks. First of all, very down-to-earth gentleman. He's not one of these directors that are a big asshole. You know, I heard he's really chill on set. And he just keeps on. He just keeps the flow going. Everybody that's worked with him is really great. I mean, everybody here in Albuquerque that I knew that worked with him on him, they loved him, you know. And then of course Key and Peele, you know.
Well, that's what's so interesting about that is they comes from Key and Peele, which was just so hilarious. I mean, I love that.
He comes from Mad TV first.
Well, well, Mad TV, but you know, he did Key and Peele, and then from that goes on to doing this monumental like horror thriller movie. I was kind of just like, where did this come from? Because when I first saw it, I didn't even realize that it was directed and written by Jordan Peele. And I learned that after the fact. You know? And so I was kind of like, wow, this guy is like really, really talented.
I was almost so confused by it that I thought it was like a different guy, just happened to be named like similar
Jordan
name,
Peele.
spelled differently something. I was like, really? Like, oh, okay.
Is another Jordan Peele?
Yeah, exactly.
That's that other Jordan Peele.
The other day, there's plenty of John Robertses. Trust me, there's a million of us out there. One of them is the Supreme Court Justice. So whenever I get talked to about John Roberts, you know. But anyway, okay, well, thank you, Carlos. That was a great segment. I just wanted to tell you, those are great answers. Obviously, Freddie, Jason, and Jordan Peele and Get Out. So we're going to go ahead and take our little break now. Okay, now, Carlos, this is where we have the fun part of the show, okay? So we called this part of our show Story Time. So when you're on a film set, when they're writing the script or letting everybody know, it's called Story Time. So that's the way me and Ben kind of came up with this. So it's our Story Time.
A little homage to being on set.
And so you wrote, so what happens is we ask our guests to write a story if they've had anything supernatural, creepy, true crime, whatever it is, happen. And Carlos wrote this amazing story. So we're going to let you tell this story right now, my friend. So go for it.
Okay, so 15 years old, in the middle, Taos, New Mexico, up in the mountains, hanging out in the middle of nowhere with drunk uncles and aunts. Imagine some four-wheelers around you. There's a swamp in the corner. You're hanging out with your primos. And you guys are just hanging out in the middle of nowhere. And I don't know what we were talking about, but all of a sudden, in the sky, these three lights just rolled up out of nowhere. At the time, obviously, there was no drones. It wasn't a helicopter. It was close enough where, you know what I'm saying? Like, we could see them. The lights were there. I still, to this day, can't explain what it was. But they were hovering around above us. We were kind of just all looking at each other like, bro, like what?
Like, is this real? Like, is this
like
really
what is this? And we didn't say a word to each other, completely quiet. The uncles, everybody was drunk, way up in the trees. Nobody saw it but us, but they just hovered around us for about, I would say about 7 to 10 minutes.
Okay.
Whoa.
No noises, no nothing, and then they just like spun around and rolled out in a straight line, gone. Okay. So obviously it freaked me out a little bit.
Right.
We were just kind of all looked at each other like, what the?
Yeah, you can say it. What the fuck?
Yeah,
you can say it on there. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm a radio guy. So.
I know, I get it. He's a radio guy.
Yeah. So what the fuck just happened, dude?
Right? Yeah.
And so we all looked at each other, and check this out. Within the next week, we were seeing in the papers that these cows around the same area were like murdered and killed, but there was no signs of what happened to them. There was a hole in them, and they were like sucked dry, full of blood.
Classic cow mutilation.
Yeah,
that's right.
I guess that's what it was. And so, dude, this is an absolute true story. I don't know if you guys believe me or not, but my uncle didn't believe me. Yeah. My parents didn't believe me. Only my two primos believe me. So,
well, because they were there.
I believe you, Carlos.
Right.
Also.
Definitely, I'll second that. Yeah.
I like this guy already.
So full disclosure, I just met Carlos today, but when I read his story, this really hit something with me because the exact same experience happened to me in Santa Fe back when I was about 16, summertime. Me and my friend, we were out in Sheridan Hills. It's this wooded area on a dirt road. You know, we're drinking some 40s of Old English, you know, smoking some weed.
That dates you.
But we weren't that deep in yet. We had just cracked them. And 3 points of light appear in the sky above us, right? Not as high as a plane, not a helicopter, no sound. And they literally made a triangular formation where they went down diagonally, across, stopped, back up to the original starting point, and then just stood there. So me and my friend were like freaking the fuck out. We're like, holy shit, dude, we're gonna get abducted right now.
Fire in the sky shit.
This is it, bro. I love you, man. You know, so I'm like, turn on the car, let's go. So he fires up the Tercel wagon. You know, we're like,
the Tercel wagon.
You know, we're driving off road. We're like hauling. I'm watching it. It just starts tracing next to us, parallel to us. So the car we're going, and it's just in the sky following us. I'm just scared. I'm literally scared out of my mind, right? We get to the road, we turn, we make a left to go down the hill, and I climb to the back to look out the hatchback of the window, and it's gone. But I have told that story like 100,000 times because it's like a real story for me. And when I heard this, I think that we might have seen the same thing.
And I don't see Wolf. I don't ever see. I'm going to tell you what's going on right now. Wolf, the hair on Wolf's arm is standing up right now from telling this story. He's just, it's like I'm looking at it right now. That's when you know. No, it's standing on my mind listening to you guys because it's so weird because you guys are both the same. You're around the same age.
Yes.
You know, yours in the summer. Obviously, yours was summer. You were camping. Yeah. And it's.
And the proximity of Santa Fe and Taos is so close.
Oh, it's right next door.
Exactly.
For people that don't know, it's so up north we have two mountainous areas. The big one's Taos, and you've heard Taos because that's like where Julia Roberts lives and all those. And it's a very, very wealthy community. And then Santa Fe is kind of the same thing, but it's the same terrain. Like it's all laid out right there, you know.
Yeah.
And then we're in New Mexico.
Of course, so
right
then and there, you know, there you have it.
We're famous for a pretty big thing, green chili and aliens. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
But no, when I read your story, when I read like the pre-script of the story, like I literally was like, oh my God.
It did happen.
This is crazy.
Yeah, and we're sending this to my
someone
uncles.
else gets it. Yeah. You know?
It happened. Yeah, like it really happened.
Well, and it's funny because like you think about all the declassified stuff that's come out now, right? And it's like nobody was believing you. You told the story 1,000 times. Nobody believed you. And then it comes out that like the government's like, yeah, actually, guys, aliens are real. And still, nobody cares. And it's just like, I'm like, guys, how can you not care about this? Like, you know, it's just.
Because we've gone through so much shit in the last 20 years, dude. No, it's like every day we hear something crazier and crazier and we're like, aliens? Oh yeah, we knew about that. You know, it's kind of like, we all knew that. Yeah. Thank you for telling us, but we already knew, you know? And I love UFO lore. I love that we have down in Roswell, New Mexico over July 4th weekend, we have the UFO festival now. That's huge. You know, it's the UFO, the whole thing down there has made that economy. You know, it's boosted the Roswell economy.
Definitely.
But at the same time, there's been so many stories that come out of New Mexico. And I believe this, I'm just going to tell you guys my opinion. We make weapons here. You know, we have Sandia Labs, we have all that. I think that they're just kind of, we tested the nuclear bomb here. You know, shit, Oppenheimer was filmed here. It was all about
interesting location to them.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting location because if you think about, you know, when you set off a nuclear bomb, and this is everybody, we're gonna have all these conspiracy theories probably chiming in on this, you know.
Right.
But it's you know, we like, as the human race, we like to destroy our own planet.
Yeah, that's how we roll. Yeah, that's what we do. But what if the aliens were actually just leaving work? You know what I'm saying? Like they were actually helping build all these crazy bombs that we got, and they're just rolling out, and they're just like, look at these stupid kids, man. Like out here in the middle of nowhere, y'all want to fuck with these kids?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? They're like.
Right.
I mean, I don't know.
That would be kind of funny. They're like, hey, that guy's he's got some old weed. Let's go down there.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, now it's, you know, aliens are all over. It's like there's all these shows, you know, Ancient Aliens, there's a million documentaries, and they've been in so many movies. So I feel like they do exist. I feel like it's kind of just like the media and everything kind of conditioning us for when it really does happen, if and when, so people don't like lose their minds, right? Because seriously, now like I could be outside and a UFO could like touch down, and I'd just be like, oh, cool, yeah, I expected you, you know, like I wouldn't be freaking out about it.
Well, I agree, because I feel like we're ready. Like a society, we've been exposed to so much as it is anyway. I think we're ready for them to like come on down, be bros, right? Share more of that tech, because I'm like, guys, I would love to have my DoorDash teleported to my living room. You know what I'm saying? Like, please share more tech. Like, you know what I'm saying?
My thing is maybe there's some like hot aliens out there. You know what I'm saying? Like some Total Recall kind of thing. No, just kidding.
Or maybe they could just help us solve all our problems so we don't destroy the planet.
I think we have some of them here, but they're just kind of looking at us waiting for us to go through an extinction or whatever. Some kind of extinction event like they did with, they said the Mayans went through, the Egyptians, like all of these different people. You know?
What if they're on the other side of like ChatGPT, bro? Like, we're sending him stuff, and there's like the dude, like he's just like, all right, this fucking dumbass is on again. You know what I'm saying?
They've assigned each one of us an alien now. They're like, but it's $20 a month.
Right, exactly.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
Treating us like teenagers that haven't had our balls dropped yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like, come on, guys.
To touch back on Wolf's thing, so there's a movie, and if you guys haven't seen it, we're sorry. We talked about it, but Fire in the Sky. You know, that was one of the most realistic depictions of film, and that scared the shit out of me. Okay, that movie, I mean, look, I'm doing it again. It got me. It was like the scenes where he's in the ship, they're doing the whole like research on him and all that weird, like, it's like the, you know what I'm saying, the goo that's on him and stuff like that.
They're probing and all that good stuff.
The probing, you know, I know, right?
All the fun stuff.
All the fun stuff. I didn't want to get into probing here, but when they come back and they reveal themselves, like Carlos said, how many aliens are going to have OnlyFans?
So Carlos, so you were saying you were out camping with your family and you experienced this, but you were with all your drunk uncles and they were all having fun. But did anybody else see that? Like, or was it just you kids? Like, was there adults there to validate you guys?
Not one of them validated us at all. Yeah, not even the cool uncles, bro. Like, yeah, no, we were kind of in the middle of nowhere. They were up in like where the trees were, where the warm campfire was. We were kind of just rolling around on four-wheelers in the middle of nowhere. So no, there was nobody to validate it. We did bring it up, but they just called bullshit on us, and we're just like a bunch of dumb kids, you know. I mean, back in the day growing up, like our parents didn't even listen to us. So
well, that's 100% true. And then you didn't have cell phone cameras or anything back then, so we could just pull it out. I mean, back then if we had a camera, we had to go like this.
Right.
It's like one of those. But yeah, that's I love that story. So I got a question to ask you also. We're gonna kind of steer off the aliens. Have you ever had any kind of like ghost experience or anything? I mean, we're just I know we're hitting you with this right now.
Yeah, I felt like I honestly had one the other day in the studio, dude.
What?
I mean, it wasn't a big ghost experience. Okay, so I've had two. One, I had a small one the other day. I feel like we bought a new toaster, and for some reason, it started moving up and down out of nowhere. I was looking at my girl Leah Black, and we're like, what is just going on here? But the second ghost experience that I had, and I don't know if it's a ghost experience, but one time we had a medium that brought Selena back, and this was
Selena the singer.
Yeah, and this was
That's
a long
awesome.
time ago, and it was we flew her in, and back in the this is back in the day. I mean, I was probably like 19 years old, so I'm just a kid on the side watching these radio DJs and this medium.
Was it
bring
one
her
of
back.
those like famous 80s mediums or anybody like that? You remember those ladies that were like on Maury Povich and
Sharon
like
Capehart, I think was her name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not like Miss Cleo, like right now, please don't tell.
R.I.P. Miss Cleo.
I want to call her next, right? No, it wasn't Miss Cleo. But the experience that I had was after she left the building, we had a room, we called it a production room, where we produce audio and commercials. I walked in the room and it was cold, freezing, like almost ice, dude.
Okay.
And it was just an experience where I actually felt like her presence there. Yeah. So I think maybe not necessarily a ghost experience, but like a presence of.
You could feel that.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of people feel, you know, when you do walk into somewhere. Because I've been back from my security days. We would go into these. I tell this story, but we would do this training scenario. We had. I lived in the apartments after they knocked this place down, but you remember it was motels, not hotels. Motels are, you know, they're one floor, like ranch style motel. And so we would go in, and when you're doing firearms training, you know, you're breaching the door and stuff like that. And so me and my partner at the time, his name's Jose Camarasa, R.I.P. Jose, I love you, man. Poor Jose. He passed away a couple of years ago, but we walked into a room, same kind of situation, where this is Texas, okay? Summertime, Dallas, humidity, hot. And once we went into they told us go in, you know, check all the rooms. So we go in, and man, it felt like the AC was on in this thing. And it's an abandoned building.
Yeah, dude.
You know, it felt like the AC was on in there. And then and then Jose goes, "We need to leave, John." That's what he said. I loved him because he was just like, "We need to get the fuck out of here."
Right,
you know?
you felt it, though.
Yeah, he felt it.
Yeah.
He's like, "This is not good,
Not
juju."
good.
You know, and so we peeled out, and I was just like, did we just witness something? Because it was an old crack hotel, and there was a lot of killings, a lot of things that happened there. And they brought us in to do security for it, but the people who owned the property were like, can we use it for our training place? And they were like, yeah. And then after that, I told my dad, because he was actually our supervisor at the time, I was like, I ain't going back there.
Right.
Have any of you guys ever been to the Plaza Hotel in Las Vegas, New Mexico?
Have not.
No.
So
Yes, I have.
Have you?
I have, yeah, I've stayed there.
That's a pretty cool hotel, and that hotel is also haunted.
Yes,
okay.
Yeah.
And it's old, so this hotel's been around since like the 1800s. I actually was staying there for work one day, and I was staying on the 3rd floor. I went down this hallway to one of the rooms where like the person died, right? The guy. Definitely you feel the cold. Like the whole hotel feels normal. You walk down this hallway, you get this kind of cold goosebump feeling when you're in front of the door. After that, I'm up in my room at night. I'm on the 3rd floor. It's nighttime, okay? I wake up at 2 in the morning. I hear stomping on the ceiling of my room, all right? And I kind of don't think anything of it, but it kind of creeps me out because I know the hotel's haunted, but I was like half asleep, so I was like, you know, whatever. So the next morning I go speak to the guy at the front desk, and I say, hey, like, is there people on the 4th floor kind of partying last night, stomping around, you know? He's like, there is no 4th floor. He's like, the 3rd floor is it. And I said, well, was there some maintenance on the roof or something, working on something? He's like, no, not at 2 in the morning. He's like, there's nobody out on the roof. And I was like, well, I heard somebody stomping around, like footsteps on the ceiling up there. And he was like, oh yeah, well, you know, you probably just heard one of our folks that we have here. And he was actually really cool. They actually, if you ask them, they have a scrapbook of photographs that guests have taken of ghosts or entities.
Like entities around the hotel.
They have it under there. So if you ask specifically that you're interested in the ghost, he like broke it out. He was all excited. He broke out the book. He's like, check out all the ghost pictures. And so me and him sat there and talked about it.
Well, and I'll touch on this a little bit too, is back in old hotels and stuff like that. You know, we did, in about 2009, 2010, the security industry took a huge shift and cameras became the thing, right? Security cameras everywhere. And we would constantly get service calls. They were service calls for malfunctioning equipment or something. And it wasn't malfunctioning. It was a ghost. It had to be. We've seen orbs. We've seen all these different things, and we tried to convince our customers, be like, yeah, we don't know really what that was, but your stuff's working pretty fine, And then there's the stuff where you see the actual entity walk by, But it's kind of it was. I've worked in a very, very interesting.
I'd be out. Yeah. So y'all got to move.
Yeah.
Well, and the fun thing is, though, I love it because when you do tell people that work in these big establishments, they're always like, they use it as a marketing ploy now. Obviously everybody wants to stay in a haunted hotel.
Right.
Whatever. But yeah, that's.
Yeah, I mean, when I stayed there, I was also for work, ironically. I also helped train state police officers, is kind of what I do on the side. And we were there for training, and we had to stay there 2 nights. I won't lie to you, I did not stay the second night. I drove back home. It was not worth it to stay because the whole first night, 1, I'm paranoid as hell. 2, it's an old hotel, and I've noticed I've developed allergies as I've gotten a little more gray, right? Yeah. And I couldn't sleep the whole first night because I'm scared, number 1, and then my allergies are through the roof. So I was like, fuck this, I'm out.
Musty.
Yeah, right? It is musty. It smells like, I don't know if ghosts have smells, but it smelled like a ghost. You know what I'm saying?
It smells old.
Yeah.
Too.
Ghosts smell like ass.
Yeah, I mean, they do. No hygiene.
Dude, it's funny. One time, Master P was in town, and they were filming a movie
at the prison.
At the prison.
I was there.
I was there too.
No way.
Yeah. So we.
First of all,
I know this guy.
So many different.
I was at the tour with the ghost experts there.
Yeah, bro. Like I was there too, man. And I'm telling you, man, like that place, that prison. I've been there a few times, but when they take you behind the scenes. In places they usually don't take other people, you feel
definitely
a presence, and you smell ass. Like
in episode 1, our other host Dizzy, he talks about that because he actually had to clean the Santa Fe prison. Remember, he was telling us about this, and he says that he's felt and seen all kinds of weird shit. But then I also talked to, I was telling you earlier, I worked up at the state Senate, I worked at the state legislature. And so one of my security guys is the old warden for that prison.
Wow.
And so he's actually told us he can get us in, and we want to do a show there.
Ooh, it's creepy.
Yeah, I want to do a live show from the Santa Fe prison.
Yeah, when I went there, so I was there because I was getting hired on to do some graffiti, for the movie and the set, in the sets. And I was in high school, right?
Okay.
I think Snoop Dogg was in the movie too, right? I think it was a masterpiece.
There was a few, and that's kind of how we got into it because in radio we had him on the radio with us talking about the movie.
Yard?
No, it was some Master P
afterward.
movie when No Limit was big. It was some kind of B movie.
Right.
But I took the tour. They showed me the spot where the dude's head was cut off, right?
Yep.
And then they took us in the mess area. That area was really creepy with the old picnic benches and the paint kind of peeling off and everything. And did you happen to go sit in the electric chair in the gas chamber?
I'm not sitting in no electric chair, bro.
I sat in them.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
I did.
I'm good.
I mean, I was 16 and I was just I'm gonna sit in the electric chair in the gas chamber. Oh, look at me. But it was cool. I mean. But the one thing they said, they talked to us, they're like, all right, guys, a lot of stuff happened here. Just don't pass judgment. Because they had, these ghost experts kind of giving us a tour, priming us to work there. And, just have an open mind. Don't judge any of the spirits here. They won't bother you.
I ain't trying to,
I mean, it's a prison. They're going to judge you.
I mean, there's books written about exactly what happened there. And it's, I mean, that's a whole other podcast.
I bet.
If you haven't read about the riots and everything.
Well, and that's one of the things is that this gentleman I worked with, he's trying to get a memorial for the prison guards that died in that awful riot. And so I told him that I was trying to help him get this thing going, and I said it would be really great if we could shoot a show there and actually do a walk and talk, and maybe you tell us everything that happened and went down, because he was the warden for the prison at that time, guys. I know, it's really and he's so passionate about. I mean, it was a terrible, horrible situation. Anything like this that happens in the United States or anywhere around the world, some kind of catastrophe like that, but he's just advocating for these families that have never gotten any kind of, they haven't honored these people or anything for the prison. And obviously now, I mean, what do they do with that place now? It's just like they shoot films there, and then
I don't know.
is there tours there now or anything?
I don't know, but I would like to go back. It would be cool to go back.
I mean, it's attached to the other prison. I mean, there's a prison there, and you can literally be in and see. I mean, they're like waving at you.
Yeah.
So I mean,
he's exactly right.
That close.
Yeah, he's exactly right. I filmed a Bollywood movie there, and we're playing military personnel and whatnot. And this one like car scene with the CIA guys driving up, and there's prisoners out there on the very border of the old prison, cleaning and doing like their whole yard work stuff. And yeah, man, it's pretty interesting.
Wow. Well, guys, well, Carlos, thank you for sharing. I gotta tell you before I'm closing this segment out, that's some weird shit between you two. That was some weird shit.
Yeah. You guys have been friends for a while. You just don't want to tell us, right?
Yeah. Now they're going to be like in Step Brothers. Did we just become best friends?
I know.
Right?
Look at all this room we got here.
Yeah, exactly.
Activities.
Let's hunt for ghosts and UFOs together. But
it's amazing to actually like meet you and for that experience to like
because
share
you
that
guys have
experience.
never met before.
No,
Tell everybody they've never met before.
Never met before, and you're the first person ever to basically have that exact same experience that I had at the exact same time frame. Because someone else had to see this stuff, right? And so it's
what a trip.
It's comforting. It's kind of like, okay, cool.
Hey, I'm not alone.
I'm not alone. Yeah, you guys should start a support group. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and close this segment out. So guys, everybody already knows, but our third segment for every single one of the Creative Kill live episodes or Creative Kill podcast, whatever you want to call Creative Kill, we do a segment called Helping with Horror. And so today we have brought on somebody that we've been working with personally here now in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and we believe in her charity. And I'm going to let her introduce herself and tell us a little bit about what she's doing. And we just need support is all we're doing. And so Carlos is here. He actually just told her he needs to come on on his show. But go ahead, Danielle. Tell everybody what you do.
Okay, so I started a foundation in my daughter's name after she unfortunately was murdered at a house party. I hate to say it that bluntly, but that's what it is. And these kids are going to these house parties unsupervised. There's not a whole lot of things to do here in Albuquerque, so I wanted to provide safe places for children to go. 13 to 18-year-olds were having dances throughout the summer, but that's not where it stops. During the school year, we make sure kids have fresh haircuts so they have that confidence, free school supplies, backpacks, right? Because when you go to start the new school year, you want to have that confidence. And everything's getting so expensive. And so poverty, I want to go from the roots of why are these kids having these guns? Why are they shooting each other or themselves? And it comes from mental illness, it comes from poverty, it comes from too much time on their hands. So the foundation is to give these children more productive ways to show who they are, to get out there and just be themselves without trying to be tough. And if you're lost, let's find you your right path.
Yeah, and I think that's right now. This is what our generation, Gen X and Gen our millennials right now, the people in their 30s, 40s, and 50s, we need to be that leadership because we went to those kind of house parties. It's a total different era than the boomers, right? But we didn't have guns. I mean, we heard about a gun violence situation every now and then, but now it's become rampant. It's horrible. It's awful. Every single day we hear about something on the television. So Danielle and I have partnered together. We're actually going to help her. We're going to build a website. We're going to get all this stuff taken care of for her foundation. And so what we're going to do in this little segment right here is I'm putting up a QR code. Right now, this is our deal with you guys, okay? We are accepting $10 or more donations to her Venmo. It's a personal Venmo that she runs through the foundation after we get the website and everything set up. But all of this money is going to go directly to the foundation to help these kids find safe spaces. And what I'm going to do is for every $10 spent, you are going to get an entry for a VIP table for the entire 5-show series. Okay, so that means for every $10 you spend, you get an entry. She's gonna keep track of it, right, Daniela?
Yes, I am.
Yes, she is.
So it's through Venmo or Zeffy. I'm gonna give all that information.
It'll all be plugged in this video. Yes. We're gonna have it right here, up here next to Ben and I. But we're really passionate about this because gun violence in this town has gotten out of control. It's out of control everywhere.
It is.
We all know that.
It is.
We all know that. So we want to help you. We are so happy. And then, guys, let me tell you real quick. She's our hair and makeup girl.
Oh yeah.
Look at her right now. She's working. But at the same time, these things need to stop. And I believe it's leadership from the top that needs to come down, because politics have I mean, they fight all the time about guns.
Right.
But I think it's community that needs to come together and show these kids that there's so much more to do than what you just said, these house parties and just
right. And unfortunately, there's not, but we are going to create that. So every dollar helps, even if it's not $10.
Right.
You know, I will try to come up with some giveaways, even for those.
Well, we've got some of our sponsors that are going to give you some stuff.
Exactly.
So we're going to work. Right. We're going to continue working with her.
Exactly.
Can you tell them what the charity's name is?
It's Aaliyah V. Hill's Legacy Foundation, and then the dances are Aaliyah Summer Nights.
Yeah, Aaliyah Summer Nights. It's the summer of nonviolence. Bernalillo County's kind of jumped in.
Right. Well,
Albuquerque, but
we'll kind of go through that, because actually I'm not. Yeah, we
I
can
get
cut
it.
out.
Yeah,
we're not working with that.
We'll cut that. Then. We'll cut that. But anyway, so we just want to thank her for coming on, telling us, helping with horror. We're here to help you. We really appreciate you. Yeah. Thank you so much. Okay, guys, so that was our Helping with Horror moment. We do appreciate it. And so now we're going to close out the show. We want to thank all of our sponsors. They'll all be listed at the end of this series. But thank you guys so much for supporting Creative Kill. We want you to like, subscribe, follow all the stuff for all of our pages, Instagram, YouTube.
On all the social media
All the social media outlets, except for X. I'll tell you, we're not on X. But Carlos, thank you so much for coming on today.
Yes.
We really do appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
You were a great guest, man.
I appreciate it.
And just to let everybody here know, Creative Kill, where the guest always has a killer experience.
Always.
All right. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate you. Oh my God, that was such a good show, dude. That was fun. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Yeah, you and Wolf, your new BFF, is upstairs. He's waiting on you inside the door up here.
I've never had a BFF. Yes, I think for
you guys are you about BFFs. Thank you, man. Appreciate it so much.
No, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
We appreciate you, bro.
It's just
Duke City Toys for new and used toys, games, and collectibles. Star Wars, Marvel, DC, board games, Albuquerque's largest selection of wrestling collectibles, and so much more. When it comes to toys, we don't play. Duke City Toys.